Nursing home neglect and abuse. Nursing home neglect and abuse happens every day due to improper nursing home staffing and inadequate care. Bed sores, malnutrition, improper restraints, scalding, and even death may be signs of nursing home neglect and abuse. If you think that your loved one has been the victim of nursing home neglect and abuse, call the law offices of James Sokolove at 1-800-513-1665. That's 1-800-513-1665. Attention heart valve replacement patients. If you had your aortic or mitral heart valve surgically repaired or replaced and have taken the diet drug Pondamin, Redux, or Fen-Phen, you may be entitled to compensation. Again, if your aortic or mitral heart valve was repaired or replaced and you took Fen-Phen, call the law offices of James Sokolove at 1-800-272-6263. That's 1-800-272-6263.
A message from the law offices of James Sokolove on mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a rare, malignant type of cancer in the lungs, usually associated with exposure to asbestos. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the law offices of James Sokolove now.
Call 800-492-4332. That's 800-492-4332.
A message from the law offices of James Sokolove on mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a rare, malignant type of cancer in the lungs, usually associated with exposure to asbestos. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the law offices of James Sokolove at 1-800-518-3656. 1-800-518-3656.
A message from the law offices of James Sokolove on mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a rare, malignant type of cancer in the lungs, usually associated with exposure to asbestos. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the law offices of James Sokolove now.
Call 800-492-4332. That's 800-492-4332.
Attention stock market investors. Recently, large brokerage firms were fined $1.4 billion to settle charges of biased research by their analysts. If you lost over $50,000 in the stock market, it could have been the result of the fraudulent actions of your brokerage firm, and you may be able to get your money back. Call the law offices of James Sokolove at 1-800-646-9589. That's 1-800-646-9589.
Attention leukemia victims exposed to benzene. Benzene is a common industrial solvent known to cause acute myelogenous leukemia, AML, and other forms of cancer. Hundreds of thousands of workers in the petroleum, rubber-making, and printing industries may be at risk. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with leukemia that may be due to the solvent benzene, call this number in confidence. 1-800-340-6551 or visit us on the web at benzenelegal.com. Don't delay.
Mesothelioma. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, a cancer in the lungs usually associated with exposure to asbestos, call the law offices of James Sokolove.
Call 800-469-8171.
Attention professionals denied a disability claim by Unum, Provident, Paul Revere, or First Unum. If your disability claim was denied or terminated, you may be entitled to compensation. Again, if your disability claim was denied or terminated by Unum, Provident, Paul Revere, or First Unum,
call 1-800-528-0405 now. That's 1-800-528-0405. We're standing by 24 hours a day to take your call. Don't delay.
a warning for people taking Bextra, the prescription medication given to pain and arthritis sufferers. Studies have shown that Bextra increased the risks of heart attack and stroke in certain patients. If you or a loved one took Bextra and suffered a heart attack or stroke, call the number on your screen now. You may be entitled to compensation. Again, if you or a loved one took Bextra and suffered a heart attack or stroke, call 1-800-794-2476 in confidence. That's 1-800-794-2476. Don't delay.
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the number on your screen now. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure.
Exposure to asbestos in mills, shipyards, or in the heating, automotive, and construction industries may have put you at risk.
Please don't wait. Call now at 1-800-485-4033. That's 1-800-485-4033.
Attention defibrillator and pacemaker patients. The Guidant Corporation recently recalled cardiac defibrillators due to failure and even death, and warns that certain pacemakers could also fail. If you or a loved one was injured by defibrillator or pacemaker failure, call 1-800-585-3141 to discuss your rights. That's 1-800-585-3141. We're standing by 24 hours a day to take your call. Don't delay.
Attention! If you cannot work because of a physical or mental disability, call now. You may be entitled to collect disability pay from the Social Security Administration. Again, if you are disabled and cannot work due to physical or mental disability, you may be entitled to receive disability payments.
Call 1-800-965-4201. That's 1-800-965-4201. Call now.
If you or someone you care about was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, or AML, you may be entitled to compensation. So call the number on your screen now for a free consultation. Acute myeloid leukemia, AML, is a form of leukemia linked to benzene exposure. Thousands of people working in the petroleum refining, rubber making, and printing industries may be exposed to benzene and may be at risk for developing acute myeloid leukemia. So please, for a free consultation, call the number on your screen now. We are here 24 hours a day to take your call in confidence. Remember, if you or someone you care for was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, AML, after exposure to benzene,
call us now at 1-800-631-6293. Please call day or night at 1-800-631-6293.
Your life has been devastated by mesothelioma, the rare form of cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. You have legal rights that could result in a cash settlement worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. And it won't cost you a cent unless you win. Our affiliated law offices have won millions of dollars for victims of mesothelioma and their families. We know how to make companies pay for their mistakes. It's a fact. Companies whose employees have developed mesothelioma because of exposure to asbestos have paid hundreds of millions of dollars to the victims and the families of deceased victims. Know your rights. Get the money and the justice you deserve. And remember, you don't pay us anything until we get money for you. Get treated with respect and dignity. Get what the law entitles you to. Get the money and the justice you deserve.
Call 800-981-5896. That's 800-981-5896.
Attention! If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in the Navy, shipyards, mills, heating, construction, or the automotive industries may have put you at risk. Please don't wait. Call 1-800-99-LAW-USA for a free legal consultation and financial information packet. Mesothelioma patients call now. 1-800-99-LAW-USA.